All right, so per Poshmark's dropshipping policy, you're not allowed to facilitate the sale of from somebody else's store or somebody else's as a manufacturer to a customer without actually having the product in your possession, right? So then what they do is they basically tell you you're not allowed to drop ship, you're not allowed to list items from other stores that you're not going to ship out to the customer yourself, okay? So you can't go out on AliExpress and list items, and then when people buy them, order them from AliExpress, and then have AliExpress ship them to the customer. You can't do that with any website whatsoever. You can't retail dropship from Amazon. You can't retail dropship from, what's another popular one? From Walmart, from literally anything. Any of the websites, you're not allowed to retail dropship and have them directly ship to the customer. You have to ship the product to your customer yourself, which means you have to have the product in your possession to ship it out to the customer. So how then can we drop ship on Poshmark within their terms of service and still get the same margins and still utilize the same business model? Well, we need two different things, right? We need fast shipping to our house or to our door, wherever we are if we're in an apartment. And we also need free shipping. So free shipping and fast shipping, okay? Now, on Poshmark, you have 3 days to initiate a shipment, okay? So that means when somebody places the order on your closet, you have 3 days to actually initiate that shipment and ship it out to the customer. So that's a very vital, important piece that you need to keep in mind, because if you order from a site like Amazon, for example, which you get free Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, you get free 2-day shipping, and a lot of times now you get free 1-day shipping, right? So to give you an example, and obviously you can do this from Walmart, Target, a number of other websites that we'll cover here specifically in a lecture or two, but it really, really helps you out, because if you list an item for a markup on Amazon or from Amazon, right, then the customer buys that Amazon product from your closet, then you can order that product for Amazon for less than they purchased it from, already make the markup, and it's going to come to your door within a day or two, and you have enough time to initiate that shipment out to the customer within the 3-day Poshmark terms of service time period. So that is how you're going to drop ship on Poshmark within the terms of service. I hope that makes sense to you. If you really need to watch it again, then go ahead and rewind the video, rewatch it again, and hopefully I'll be able to explain it a little bit slower for you. But that's the general gist of it, because when you order from a site like Amazon, for example, it comes to your door, then you initiate the shipment in less than 3 days, you can still list a bunch of things for free, because you don't actually have to go ahead and purchase those items ahead of time. You actually don't need the inventory. You can go ahead and take all the risk out of the equation and get all the potential profit margin, right? So if you list an item and it doesn't sell, you don't lose anything. You didn't have to purchase that item initially, right? If you list an item and it does sell, well, great. Obviously, you can make the markup on that, order it to your house, and then ship it out to the customer, keep the profit margin, and then continue reselling that product, because obviously that's going to sell well, because obviously there's a market for it on Poshmark and people are buying for it. So that's where the trial and error comes in, something we'll talk about in the future, in future lectures. But that's the overall gist of the Poshmark dropshipping business model and how you can do it within terms of service. So I want to take you through a short example of how to get free shipping supplies and free shipping boxes to your door so that you can increase your margins, right? Because if you have to go out there and pay for boxes or pay for, bags or shipping supplies, that's going to cut into your profit margins, and you don't want that to happen. So one thing that a lot of people don't realize when they first get started on Poshmark is all of their shipping is priority mail shipping, which means you have to ship it USPS, okay? You have to ship it through the post office. But that is good for you because you get access to all their free priority mail shipping boxes and shipping supplies for free on their website. So if you go to USPS.com and you go to Quick Tools and you go to, free boxes, then all of these boxes right here, you can get shipped to your house or your apartment or to your door or wherever for free. You'll see $0. There's no shipping involved. They literally just drop them off because they want you to use their service. So I'm going to show you some of my favorites that I go through. I'm going to short this down to 48 results per page. Now, I've used I don't use any of the regional rates, but what I do, so I like this one right here, and make sure when you're ordering these boxes, you're not going after the blue one. See the two differences here? You have Priority Mail and you have Priority Mail Express. With your Poshmark labels, you can't ship the blue. You can't ship Priority Mail Express. You can only ship Priority Mail. So all the red ones, if it's a blue box like this, you can't ship it. If it's a blue box like this, you can't ship with it. Okay, so it has to be the red boxes like these. So this red box right here, the Priority Mail box, I got a bunch of them right over there. I use them all the time. They're great. right here, medium flat rate box. I use all these all the time. They're great. Where's priority small flat rate box? They're great. These are great, the normal boxes. And they tell you all the dimensions here. So obviously based on what you think your products are going to be that you're drop shipping, you can go ahead and grab those boxes. But what I like to do is I just like to go ahead and order a bunch of them ahead of time, so that I know initially that I have all the potential boxes in my possession to ship out. I'd go over and get them for you, but they're over in the corner and there's so freaking many. There's probably, I don't know, 300 over there, right? So a lot of them are packages. They're not necessarily always boxes, which I'll show you here in a second, because I use the packages a lot, the padded envelopes and the envelopes, but we'll cover that here in a second. So I order a bunch of them to my house, and then obviously I just keep them here so I have free shipping supplies. Let's see some other good ones that I use. So I use this medium flat rate box from time to time. I also use these from time to time. So when I used to ship out and drop ship a lot of like scratch off maps, these were perfect for it right here. You just throw the scratch off map in it. Sometimes you want to get these if you have like a long, really thin thing. So like a poster is another example of something that you can throw into here. Priority box, I've used these before. And where are the padded ones that are my favorite? I'll show you. Obviously, you can go through and pick the ones that you feel like are best for you. Pick a bunch of them. They're free. You might as well. Okay, so here we go. So I use these flat rate envelopes for little things. I also use the padded. Where are the padded ones? I'm not seeing them here. I see the priority mail padded, but I'm not seeing the other ones. So maybe they're on the next page. And priority, where are they? There we go. Okay, so these are my favorite. These right here, the padded flat rate envelopes. I literally order just packs and packs and packs of these. I use them all the time. The majority of the items that I'm shipping on Poshmark, if it's closed, fit in these perfectly. And then it comes with a little padded thing to protect your item. If they're not closed, a lot of things fit in these as well. They're kind of stretch a little bit, but for the majority of things I ship out with these are the things I use the most. So I have a bunch of boxes over there, I have a bunch of envelopes over there, and a bunch of different size things, but these are what I have the most. There's probably about 100 of those over there in the corner right now. I highly recommend that you order a bunch of these. But you can go through and pick from these. They're all 100% free. And then that's really going to not cut into your profit margins because you're getting all your boxes for free. All right, so I taught you the drop shipping business model and how you implement it, but that requires that you have free shipping and websites to get products to your door in a short period of time, right? That way you can keep the margin and also get the products in the shortest period of time so that you can initiate the shipment within 3 days, right? Makes sense. So where can you order from? What websites can you do this from? Where can you get products, right? So my 3 main favorite websites are obviously Amazon with Amazon Prime. That's my go-to. Products are going to come to your door within 2 or 1 day sometimes, depending on that specific item and where it is in fulfillment centers. And then obviously when you have Prime membership, you get free shipping. So if you need Amazon Prime, I'll drop a trial to that will be on the right side of this actual lecture. It will be in a little document. If you open up that Word document, that will have a free, I believe it's a free 30-day trial to Amazon Prime, so you can test it out yourself and you don't have to pay for it. Now, Walmart is my second favorite probably. They also have free 2-day shipping. So on Walmart, you can get free 2-day shipping. You're getting great products to your door in 2 days. It's a great place to do so as well. And then Target.com as well. A lot of their products, and I believe, I'm not sure if it's every product or just a lot of them, but a lot of their products, especially, you can get to your house in 2 days with free shipping. So these are my 3 favorites, but you can practically order from any website that you want that has free shipping and comes to your door within 3 business days. All right, so really briefly, I want to talk about what products you should go after when you're listing items for retail dropshipping. Now, there's 2 main factors that I like to do, but obviously you can list practically whatever you want, no matter if it's from Amazon, if it's from Walmart, if it's from anywhere, any of those websites that we covered, or literally anywhere. At the end of the day, it's just trial and error. That said, you can give yourself kind of a better chance to list better items if you keep 2 things in mind. So I like to either go after trending items for that time of year. Perfect example of this would be bathing suits, or I like to go after trending topics or trending things that are going on in the world currently right now. So I'll give you 2 examples of that second one here in a second, but I'm also going to give you the example of bathing suits. Now, bathing suits is a perfect thing for me to list in my dropshipping store right now because currently it is summer here where I'm at, and there's a lot of women on the Poshmark platform, right? So if I list women's bathing suits for this time of year, chances are they're going to sell better right now than if I listed winter coats, right? So that's what you want to keep in mind. You want to go out and list those types of things. Now, another thing is a good example of this is like clutches, because a lot of girls, I hate that I know this, but it's true because my girlfriend tells me. If you go after and you go like clutch purses, a lot of women carry a lot of different clutch purses, and this is an example of one that I've listed for dropshipping before for a markup. A lot of people will carry clutch purses around because they don't want to have like a big bulky purse. They want something small and sleek when they're, when it's summer and they don't really have baggy clothes out, or they don't have a big jacket that they're also carrying around. So clutches and bathing suits, great examples of things that are trending currently for this specific time of year. Now, 2 examples of things that are trending products. So when Game of Thrones was going on, I used to drop ship Game of Thrones stuff all the time because there were super fanatical people searching for Game of Thrones. So I would drop ship like Game of Thrones banners, like drop ship the Game of Thrones Monopoly game, all sorts of stuff. It's a great way to drop ship items, go after trending topics that people are after currently during this time period, not just this time of year, but what's going on right now in the world. Another example of something that's trending is like Trump squeeze toys, I think they were called. Trump squeeze balls, right? Because when Trump got elected, regardless of whether you're a conservative or you're a liberal or what your political views are, I don't really follow politics. I don't really personally care. There were a lot of people, it was hard to deny that there were a lot of people out there that absolutely hated Trump, right? That would have literally, they weren't even thinking logically, they were just reacting emotionally. And so listing a Trump squeeze toy like this, the moment that they saw it, I could have charged them $30 for this, and they would have went ahead and purchased it just for the sheer fact of saying, I got a Trump squeeze toy. It was their emotion reacting. So that was a perfect example of something that I drop shipped in the past or listed for drop shipping in the past on Poshmark, that people would go ahead and just buy like that. They wouldn't even think twice about it. They wouldn't think about the price necessarily. Now, obviously, if you listed it super high, you have to play around with the price point there. You might struggle a little bit, but right here, this one's listed, it looks like for like $8.77. If I drop ship this on Poshmark for $19.99, I could probably make almost a $10 profit margin every single time someone bought it. And half the people that went ahead and saw this wouldn't even think twice about it. They would just go ahead and buy it. Because they hate Trump, and it's that emotional reaction because people buy based on emotion, and then they use logic and reason to then justify their purchases afterward, but also kind of just for the notoriety to show their family and friends that also hate Trump or also might be Democrats that, hey, this is how much I hate Trump. This is how much how much of a Democrat I am. This is how much I care about politics right now. And this is not my worldview. I don't care either way, one way or the other. But just for the notoriety to show their family and friends that they have a Trump squeeze doll, right? Or a Trump squeeze toy. So this was a great example as well. The Game of Thrones was a great example. This was a great example. Even one more. So it's it's the end of summer almost. It's approaching like the middle to end of summer. And one of the things that's going to come up during Christmas time is Star Wars, right? The very last Star Wars movie ever is going to come out, Episode 9. So leading up to that time period, don't you think a great opportunity to dropship stuff would be Star Wars merchandise? So if you list Star Wars merchandise, not Star Wars merchandise, you probably have a really great opportunity to dropship things that are Star Wars merchandise, because there's going to be a ridiculous amount of fanaticism going after Star Wars items, during Christmas time because the movie's out then. So hope you like this, this basically overview. There's a lot of great items to drop ship, but yeah, it's trial and error. But at the end of the day, if you think, about stuff ahead of time and you go after trending topics and trending items for that current period during the year, you're going to give yourself the best opportunity to sell items because people are going to react emotionally and they're not even going to think about the price. All right, so now we want to talk about the importance of, a cashback credit card so that you can make more money with this business model, right? So there's 2 main ways to do it. Either you're going to use a debit card or a bank account, or you're going to use a credit card and cashback credit cards to make more money, because if you're purchasing it anyway, right, you might as well get cash back on every purchase. That might be the difference between like $200 to $500 extra, depending on how much you're purchasing, every single month cash back onto your card, right? So why would you not do that? Now, there's 2 types of people out there, right? There's the person that's not responsible with a credit card and not responsible with their numbers. Obviously, a portion of this course is going to be literally on knowing your numbers so that you're responsible. But for the majority of people out there that, aren't responsible with a credit card or don't feel comfortable with it, I would recommend not getting a credit card, okay? Don't get a credit card. I would be more comfortable with you just using a bank account, or, just putting it on debit card and then using a debit card so that firsthand that you have money in your account, right? If you're not good with credit, you don't trust yourself, don't do it. Please don't do it. But for the other people out there that are responsible, do trust themselves and feel like, they can manage a credit card and pay it off with a profit every month, and they trust themselves not to spend the profit and not pay their card off. That's the majority of people out there, I would assume. The people that really want to scale this up and turn this into a business and make the most profit possible, then I would recommend going with a credit card, right? Because you're going to get cash back on all your Amazon purchases, and then you could turn that into a credit card. You turn that into whatever, form of cash back you want. And we're going to talk about 2 options for you that are the best, in my opinion, here in a second. And, on top of that, you're also using a card so you don't need the upfront capital, right? So you don't need to have thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars, depending on how many purchases you have, up front. Instead, you put it on a credit card, you earn the cash back slowly, and that starts to rack up, and then you pay the credit card off before the end of the month. You win because you make the profit. You also win because you get the cash back, and then your card's paid off, so it's improving your credit, right? So that's a great method and a great way to do it, but like I said, make sure you're responsible. If you're not, please don't do this. So the 2 best ways that I would recommend, and obviously you can use any card that you have now currently, but I would recommend doing a high yield, high return cashback credit card, right? Now, I recommend the Discover It card because it comes twofold, right? You get cash back on all your purchases, but then you can also click in your little settings once you sign up for the Discover It card. You can literally click in your settings to get double cashback rewards or sometimes triple cashback rewards on Amazon purchases, right? You're not going to find that many other places, so I highly recommend the Discover It card. Every time I make an Amazon purchase, when I do arbitrage, right? When I teach a lot of arbitrage, I get 2 or 3 times, depending on the month, cash back on all my Amazon purchases. And that racks up to hundreds of dollars cash back every single month that other people aren't getting because they're not using a card like this, right? So that can really 10x or, double or at least triple, obviously, all of your revenue and your profit at the end of the month. And obviously, I'm going to refer you here to my card because I do have a Discover It card, as you can see here. So it's a win-win for both of us. We both get a $50 statement credit. So I'm going to drop this link. If you're watching this on my website, this link will be above this video directly. You can go ahead and you can go through that link, sign up and apply for a Discover It card, and then get a $50 statement credit on your first statement. So that's literally already $50 cash back on top of the Amazon cashback that you potentially getting. I highly recommend this card. I use it myself, as you can see here, right? Now that said, it's going to help me, obviously. It's going to help me in my dropshipping business. It's going to help you in your dropshipping business as well, so we can both benefit each other. I'm not going to pitch this too hard. I wasn't trying to turn this into like a sales pitch, but honestly, without even recommending it, it's one of the best options out there, right? So if you are on my website, like I said, that's directly above. If you're on Udemy, that will also be linked on the right in that little folder. That's like a Word document. You can open up the Word document and then go through that specific link to apply, right? And that'll give you $50 cash back. So the other option that a lot of people use, and I think the Discover It card's a lot better because you can get double or triple the points on Amazon purchases specifically, and I feel like they definitely did that to compete with the Amazon Store card. But if you're more comfortable just going with the Amazon Store card, you can go with the Amazon Store card immediately upon signing up. You get $40 Amazon gift card upon opening up, so that's great for beginners. On top of that, you get 5% Amazon.com cash back. Now, obviously, the Discover It card, when you elect those double and triple points, is going to be more cash back every single month that you're doing that. But this is a great way to, really kind of get into the business model while earning cash back, and you can get a $40 statement credit when you open up this. Now, I don't have an affiliate link for this, but, I will actually put this in that same Word document if you're on Udemy, and I'll also put that up in the same, there'll be 2 links. This will be the one right below the Discover It card. Now, both of those cards have no annual fees, so you don't have to worry about paying like fees or hidden fees like that. It's just very simple. You use it as a credit card, you earn cash back, and that's why I recommend, more than anything, if you're responsible with your credit, to use a credit card that gives you cash back on these purchases. Because like I said, I earn about another $200 to $500 every single month from purchasing items like this that I wouldn't have otherwise earned if I didn't use these cards. All right, so I'm going to take you through an example run through of a product that I would list on this, on Poshmark, and how to drop ship it from that actual listing. So I'm going to use Amazon Prime, but like I covered, you can use a number of different websites to do this. There are so many out there. The only things you need to keep in mind are free shipping and fast shipping to your door, so you can get it, repackage it back up, and ship it back out to the customer, right? So I'm going to go after bathing suits. I personally love bathing suits right now, currently, for this time period, for this time during the year, because right where I'm at, it's super hot out and it's summer. So I'm going to go after bathing suits, especially because I know too, there's a lot of women on the Poshmark platform. It's probably about 90% to 10% women compared to men. So I'm going to go after something that's trending right now during this time of the season and to the target market that's currently frequenting the app/website. So then I need a few different things, right? I need a good bathing suit because that's what I'm going to go after. I need a good women's bathing suit that has quality product pictures, that has a quality listing that I can copy from, and also has a low enough price, that's the key, that I can mark up for a profit. So what I basically did is I went ahead and found one. Now, the good thing about this is, like I said before, you can list, 100 of these different bathing suits at different margins and play around with it. It's trial and error and see what works. Now, one of the things you also want to keep in mind is you see the Amazon's Choice badge in the reviews. Some people will go after, a bikini or something that doesn't have like barely any reviews. And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. But that said, you do want happy customers and you do want quality listings. And that's just an indicator if it has a badge and it has customer reviews and happy customer reviews, that it's a quality product and your customer is going to be happy and you can feel confident listing it. So that said, we're going to take this listing, we're going to list it on Poshmark ahead of time to then make money and make a profit on it so that when people buy it from our Poshmark listing for a markup, we can then go ahead and buy it from Amazon to our door and make money doing so. So what I need to do now is I need to take all these pictures, and 90% of the time you can just right click and save the pictures, but it looks like I need to actually snip these out. So I'm going to use the snip tool for PC. I know there's one for Mac. I just don't remember what it's called. And I'm going to snip these pictures out and take them. And we're going to save them as, let's see, women's padded push-up. Let's go. Let's just women's padded push-up blue bikini two-piece. Right? Because what we want to do is, a lot of people make the mistake of just saving it as like bikini or saving it as like picture one. And that's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to save your picture with a bunch of stuffed keywords. And then that way what that basically does is it indexes it for that metadata and gives Poshmark or whatever e-commerce platform, eBay, Mercari, eBay as well, or eBay, Mercari, and Amazon as well, some more information about what that listing actually is so that they can then suggest it out to the right people. And for example, if somebody searches for like women's bikini blue, this might pop up higher in search results compared to other things because it's also saved as the pictures, like 8 pictures are saved as that metadata in the actual product listing. Super underrated piece of tip here, but a lot of people for whatever reason don't implement it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to save it as women's padded push-up bikini two-piece 1. Now I'm going to take the picture number 2, and we're going to save it as women's padded push-up blue bikini 2. Now we're going to take the picture number 3, and we're going to save it as three. And now, instead, what I would do is I would do this for every single picture, but I don't want to waste your time. So obviously you'd want this too for the sizing charts because, sometimes people ask you sizing questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this listing into Poshmark and list it. So we're going to take all the pictures. Now we're going to submit those pictures, okay? Now we want to add the title. So I'm going to use that same title that I tried to save the pictures as. So let's go grab those pictures. We'll go women's padded push-up blue bikini two-piece. And it looks like we have 6 more characters, so I could add something in there, but for the sake of saving your time and not wasting it trying to come up with 6 more characters to fit in there that read well, I'm going to just leave it blank. Now I'm going to take some of the actual product listing right here. And so we'll go to the swimwear right here. Now, one of the things you want to keep in mind too is Poshmark actually limits you on the characters in your description, so you can't actually have that much characters in your description. So just keep that in mind. This swimwear is suitable for swim, beach, vacation, honeymoon, go out, exercising, and I'm just going to end it there and say, etc. And boom, there we go with our product listing. And now we're going to categorize it. So we're going to go women, swim, bikinis. Now we're going to list it as a multiple item too because we don't have the actual inventory, so we can just list it as items in quantities of multiple so that we don't really run out of inventory. So this is a small, so we're going to list it as small. And You can also, like, keep in mind too, you can add multiple sizes, right? So if you want to add a bunch of different sizes, you can add a bunch of different sizes. Just keep that in mind, because if you change sizes sometimes the price changes. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to add it to my boutique and say tags are attached. Yes. I'm not going to add a brand because it's a private label brand, BMJL. I doubt that they would have that. BMJL, see? Now I'm going to select the color. What was that color? It is deep blue. Deep blue. So we're going to go blue. Now the fun part, the pricing. So now I need to list it at a markup that is I'm going to make money on, because I can't just list it a little bit above, because Poshmark's going to take their cut as well. So I probably can't list it at 25. I don't think I'd be profitable. I'd only make 20 bucks, which means I'd be losing $2 every single time. So if I listed this at like 29, which is actually a solid price point for a bikini on Poshmark if it sells well, so I'd be profitable at 29. I'm going to buy it for $21.99, and I'm going to sell it for, and I'm going to make $23.20 when I sell it for $29, but that's still not enough, in my opinion, of a profit margin. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to list this at 35 bucks. And then I would make $28. So every single time somebody purchased this, I would make $6.01 roughly, because Poshmark's going to take a $7, or is that $7 cut on the margin. So the margin's still here if I list this at 35 bucks. And then, you know, I can make 28, but really when I order it, I'm going to end up netting $6 every single time someone orders it. And that's how you drop ship on the Poshmark platform within the terms of service. Then every single time somebody orders this from my listing, I'm going to come back, order this right here. And then when it comes to my house, I'm going to package it up in that padded flat rate envelope that I talked about with you guys. And that's how you do it, right? So then that's $6 every single time someone orders. Now, one more thing to keep in mind is you want to save the URL as the title of your actual listing, so that when you know, because this is a mistake that a lot of people make, that when somebody comes and buys from the women's padded push-up blue bikini two-piece, you know exactly what URL and product that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that URL as a shortcut, new shortcut. And I'm going to save the exact title as that shortcut as well, so that I know, and I'll put it in the folder, into the dropshipping folder. We're not on my e-commerce computer right now. So that I know that, hey, every single time somebody comes to this listing and buys the women's padded push-up blue bikini two-piece, I come to my folder and I go, oh, here's the women's padded push-up bikini two-piece. I want to buy this product. And that's how you dropship on the Poshmark platform and list items across platforms with no inventory. Let me take you through the entire business model, right? Before we get into exactly what I'm going to drop ship, which obviously here is bathing suits, because here where I am currently in PA, it's about 99 degrees out, and it is the heart of summer. So a lot of people are buying bathing suits, and obviously there's more women on Poshmark, so I'm going after women's bathing suits. So it's a trending item. It's perfect for this time of year, and I'm basically putting it to the target market that's actually on the platform willing to buy, because there's probably, I don't even know what the numbers are, but I'd say there's probably like 90% women to 10% men on the platform, if not more, okay? So that said, how are you going to be able to drop ship within the terms of service on the Poshmark platform specifically? Well, on the Poshmark platform specifically, how you drop ship within the terms of service is they have a specific clause in their terms of service that says you're not allowed to facilitate the sale from like a third-party site to a customer. So you can't basically list an item that you don't have and then have the website that you listed it from ship it to the customer. But they don't say anything about ordering it to you first and then shipping it to the customer while you listed it ahead of time. So that's exactly how you dropship, right? Because in Poshmark's terms of service, it says you have 3 days to initiate the shipment to the customer, right? 3 days. That means that if you order from a site like Walmart.com that has free shipping and ships to you in 2 days, boom, you can list their items ahead of time and then ship them out once you get them. Same thing with Amazon, where if you have Amazon Prime, it's free 2-day shipping, and it's free 1-day shipping a lot of times now, because they made a really big push to 1-day shipping. And then you get the added benefit of getting the free shipping, and it's very, very fast to your door. So you can then go ahead, like I'm going to show you here, and list, 10 things, 20 things, 100 things, 1,000 things for free, and then make the profit margin on literally every single one of them. It's trial and error, and it's no financial cost to you whatsoever. So to recap, before we actually jump into the example, right? You're going to list Amazon items for a markup. Then when somebody buys them from you, you're going to order them from Amazon to your door within a day or two, package them up really fast. They're very, very easy. and then you're going to ship it out to the customer, okay? So that's the business model in a nutshell. Now, so that you can maximize your profits on Poshmark, you don't want to be ordering, you don't want to have to buy boxes. You don't have to need shipping supplies. So if you go to USPS.com, because on Poshmark, everything is priority mail, you can get shipping supplies 100% free. So you can get boxes 100% for free. You go to Quick Tools, free boxes, and boom, they're all there for you. So if I sort this really fast, obviously, you can go ahead and just order a bunch of them to your door. I have so many over there. I have like boxes of all shapes and sizes, and I also have padded flat rate envelopes, which are my favorite specifically. I'm trying to find them for you. Here they are right here. So you're getting a 9.5 inch by 12.5 inch by like 2-3 inches, because it can like stretch a little bit. Padded flat rate envelope. It's perfect for throwing things like this in there. And then literally all you do, you come to your house, you throw it in the envelope, in the padded envelope, close it up, and drop it into a post office bin, one of those blue things. So it's very, very easy to do. It's free shipping supplies, and that's what I suggest that you do. So what I'm going to do is, like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pre-list stuff on Poshmark that I don't already have yet, and then when somebody orders it, I'm going to make the markup in price. Now, if nobody orders it, it doesn't really matter that much because I can continue to list other things. There's no financial risk on me, but I know from firsthand experience that bathing suits sell well on Poshmark, especially right now in the summer. So what I need then is I need a high-quality looking bathing suit, right, with good product pictures and a good product listing that I can then copy and put it over on Poshmark. But it has to be cheap enough as well so that I can make a margin on it and mark it up on Poshmark to make money, right? So if this sells, I can't just mark it up a little bit. I have to mark it up enough so that when Poshmark takes their cut, we both make money. So I went ahead and searched through a little bit, and I went ahead and, you're going to have to play around with different, different price points and different items. Obviously, like I said initially, it's trial and error. But this is one of these are two decent ones that I thought that I could probably push. So let me take you through the process of actually uploading them. You'll see that they have good product pictures. This one's $21.99. This one has good product pictures. It's got a decent listing I can copy, obviously, and it's $16.99. So I feel like I can mark them up fairly easily. So what I would do then is let's take this first one as an example. If I can, I hate this. Some of them you can some of you can just copy, like you right-click save, and some of them they're going to play little games with you. You can't right-click save them. So what I need to do in this specific example, and usually you can just like literally right-click save, or it's really easy. But I'm going to make it. They're going to make me snip them out. So I guess I'll snip them out. This can take a little bit more time, but it's still super easy. So what I'm going to save this as is I'm going to go through before I actually save this. I'm going to come up with good keywords because one of the things that a lot of people overlook is what they save their pictures as on e-commerce platforms, right? That adds more metadata and gives that specific platform more information on what that actual listing is so that they can suggest it and push it out to the right people so that when people type in the search bar, summer gray bathing suit, this pops up and not something else, right? So, or this pops up higher in search results. So I'm going to say like women's string 2-piece bathing suit, gray bathing suit, right? That's gray? Yeah, gray. So I'm going to save this as, to get the metadata, right? So women's string 2-piece bikini bathing suit, stuff full of keywords, gray. Or maybe gray bathing suit. That would work probably better. Bikini, gray bathing suit. Nope, let's put gray before that. So we'll go 2-piece. So there we go. Women's string 2-piece gray bikini bathing suit. And we're going to save it as 1. Save that as, boom. And now we're going to come back and we're going to take picture number 2, right? And we would do this for every single picture and just snip them out. So save this as number 2, right? And then we're going to do one more. I don't want to do them all to waste your time, but we're going to do one more. And we're going to grab this one. And the pictures are going to sell your listings more than anything else, guys. So make sure that you get the pictures right and also make sure that you're saving it as metadata. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into Poshmark and I'm going to upload these. And remember, I don't have this inventory ahead of time. So I'm going to take all these product pictures and just throw them in there. And boom. Now, obviously, I would do this for every single picture, right? So I'm not just going to leave all these other ones out. I'm going to add these as well if they're good product pictures. But, I'm not going to wait. I don't want to waste your time. So then I'm going to add the title in there. So what was it again? It was, whoops. Let's go Set in downloads, knows in pictures. So women's string, two-piece gray bikini bathing suit. Boom, and it fits perfectly. We only have one character left. So that's a great, title, and now we have our product pictures. So now, and obviously you can do this so much faster if you're not like slowing it down to explain it to an audience, which you won't be doing. So I can go through and list like, I don't even know, like 10 in 10 minutes. It's super, super easy to do. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to go high quality material, features of the bikini, and one of the drawbacks of Poshmark actually is that they don't have enough. There's not that many characters available in your description, so you do have to play around with it to get the most bang for your buck. So I'm going to take high quality material here. I'll leave that actually, and I'm going to take features of the bikini, and then that's pretty good. We'll see if there's another little keyword to throw in there, maybe like suitable occasions. Or like summer. How about perfect for summer? Boom, done. Now we optimize our description, utilize all the characters, have some great keywords in there, while also people can read it and figure out exactly what's in there. I don't know what these are. It looks like maybe those are and signs. Yeah, we'll go 86% polyester, 14%. Where is it? Where's the percentage? Percent Alistine. Okay, so now we have that. Now we need to categorize it, right? So women. All right, so it's going to be in women, swim then, and then we're going to go with bikinis. Now we're going to go add multiple items because remember, I don't have this, so I can just list multiple items. And then what I'm going to do, so I'm going to list it as like, what was the size again? It was, so small fits 4 to 6. Small, we'll just list it as a small. And then I'm going to list like 5 of them. And what will happen is if, for whatever reason, I run out of stock, I'll just increase the quantity again because I don't have, the person right here has the quantity and I don't have it, right? And then I'm going to add it to my boutique. And I'm going to save, I'm not going to save it as a brand because it's a private label brand and it is indeed gray. Now the fun part. Now we need to focus on the pricing. So how can we make an up sale in the pricing? Now the great thing about listing products on Poshmark is they're going to tell you exactly what your earnings are if that sells, and they're going to tell you what their cut is. So I can't list it at $16.99. I can't even list it at $17.99 because Poshmark's going to take their cut. I probably can't even list it at $19.99 because I'll still be, if we just list it at $20, I'll still be under. So I only earn 16 bucks. So I need to list it over at 20 because Poshmark's going to take a $4 cut at that listing, and then I'm negative. So I need to list it, maybe let's try, $25. And then I would make 20 bucks, right? So every time someone came and bought this, it would be a $3 margin. Now what I could do is I could list this as 29, which is probably more realistic for me. And then I would make $23.20 every single time someone bought this, with the ability to make offers to likers every once in a while to make some more money, and I have a little bit of wiggle room. And then I would go ahead and I would list this. So that's number one. That's how you drop ship on the platform. And then every single time somebody bought this, right, I would go ahead and make, what is that, $23.20? So I'd go ahead and make about $6.20 or $6.21 every single time someone bought this. So that's how you dropship on Poshmark. That's how you implement it. Now, don't forget to save the actual URL. A lot of people do this and then they'll be like, oh, someone bought from my listing and I have 100 listings. I don't remember what exact product it is. That's a problem. Don't do that. So what you want to do, and we're not actually on my e-commerce computer, but I would do this if I could. So we're going to go to new folder and I'm going to make this, so we're going to say like Poshmark DS listings. And I'm going to save them all in here so that I know exactly what items are which, okay? So I'm going to save a shortcut to this URL, and I'm going to save it as the exact title, so I didn't X out of it yet, as the exact title that the listing is, so that I know when somebody comes through and they buy the women's string 2-piece gray bikini bathing suit, well, then obviously I would go ahead and purchase from the URL that says women's string 2-piece gray bikini bathing suit. I'm going to throw it all in the same folder, and then just build this folder up so that I can come in and know exactly where those URLs are at that current time period. Now, one of the other questions I get is how do I focus on, how do I keep track of the price changes? Well, a lot of the prices won't change, believe it or not. But what I do every once in a while is once or twice, maybe once a week, I'll go through and I'll check the listing prices to see if they all still check out and to see if they're all still profitable. That said, even if I skip a week or something or I overlook one, it's not like eBay or Amazon, right? On eBay or Amazon, if you list something and then you cancel orders and after a customer makes a sale, they penalize you hard, right? You'll need to do that like once or twice or maybe 3 times, and then you're going to get a suspension because they don't like that. On Poshmark, it's not like that. They don't crucify you for canceling an order from time to time. If you're selling like 10 orders a week, even if you're selling like 50 orders a week, but 10's a relatively low number, if you're selling like 5 orders a week even, and you cancel one of them every once in a while, they're not going to penalize you for it as long as you have decent seller metrics, right? So it's not like Amazon, it's not like eBay, where you're going to get crucified for canceling orders. It's okay every once in a while. So to answer that question specifically in 2 different ways, I usually go through that folder and check my prices against my listings maybe once a week on a Sunday when I'm bored. But even if you don't and you overlook it, you can cancel the order and then you'll find out that way. And then once you cancel the order, you just up your price again, right? So that's how you handle that. That's Poshmark dropshipping in a nutshell. And that's how you dropship within the terms of service on Poshmark to make more money with less inventory, and actually not even any inventory at all, not even less. All right, so now the fun stuff. I'm going to teach you how to automate your Poshmark closet to make more sales, share more things, and auto follow, all that good stuff to get more eyes on your listings so you can make more money. Now, there's a majority of ways to use the automation tool that I'm going to show you. But to find the automation tool, all you really do is you go to Google Chrome Store. It's a Chrome app, and then we're going to go to the store, and you type in Simple Posher. And that's the title of the app, right? And you notice here that I have it already up here. It's $9.99 a month, but you can get a 7-day free trial for the app. And you can, if you really don't want to spend $9.99 a month, you can just keep cycling through free trials. The only thing that you need is you need a different Google, different Google sign-in. So you can keep cycling through different Google sign-ins if you want to every 7 days. Or you can just buy it for $9.99 a month. You should be making $9.99 pretty much daily, if not more than a day, once you start retail dropshipping like this seriously enough. So $9.99 a month is super, super cheap. So it's still worth it, right? Because automation is going to do everything that you need to do to sell without you having to actually spend your time to do it, right? So $9.99 a month is a complete steal. But if you want to just, like I said, cycle through the trials, more power to you. So this is what the app actually looks like once you install it on your Google Chrome browser. Now, I have literally just started using this week, and it's been a revelation for me. So before this, I used the Poshmark Auto Share Bot. Now I use Simple Posher, and I'm still on the trial version, and it works great. But if you watch nothing else, the best way to sell more items, depending on what you're listing, is find a party that is very, very similar to what you're listing, right? So if you're listing a bunch of kids items, guess what? You should find a kids party. If you're listing a bunch of men's items, guess what? You should find a men's party. If you're listing a bunch of women's items, well, then you're in luck because a majority of those women's items, all the parties pretty much are women's parties that are outside of men's and kids parties, right? So the whole idea behind that is you want to share to the top of your closet the items of the party that you're going to, right? So if you list a bunch of bags, well, you probably want to share items out of the bags party. And the reason being, let me just show you. So if you share and you organize your Poshmark closet to have your bags at the top of your closet, right? Then you're going to turn on the automation to share from the party. And I'm going to go into this in a second. So if you're starting to auto share from the party, well, guess what? People that listed bags are probably more inclined to buy other bags in the future, right? And they're going to be more inclined and interested in bags that you have in your closet. So if you're trying to drop ship bags, you should go to the bags party and share items out of the bags party. That's going to bring traffic and potential eyes and potential customers to your closet, because on Poshmark, it's like kind of share for share. So if you share somebody's item, the majority of people will share yours back. So by sharing their item, they're going to get a little red notification up in the right, come to your closet to potentially share your item back, and then potentially see a bag that they want to potentially purchase. And that's how you, in a nutshell, without getting too into it, that's the best way to really get more eyes on your content on the Poshmark app, right? So let's go back to a different example. Let's say that you're dropshipping men's clothes specifically, right? So you want to find a men's party, probably the most recent men's party, and what you're going to do is you're going to set up your automation to share from the men's party, right? Now, the very first thing that you need to know about the automation tool with Simple Posher is that you want to appear as a human being and not like an automation tool, right? So you don't want to go like 1 minute or 1 second maximum, right? And you definitely don't want to go like, too low. You want to have a wide variety because you want to do this consistently over time, and you want to make it, a variety of different seconds. So it's sharing at random times, right? So when I'm doing this personally, I'd probably go like 5 seconds to maybe like 21 or 22 seconds. And that's going to wait in between 5 seconds and 22 seconds to share an item from this party. And it's just going to continue to do that until I tell it to stop or it hits the limit that I've set, right? Pretty self-explanatory. Now, to show you, I'm going to go 3 seconds and like 12 seconds, but just for the sake of showing you how to actually do this, right? But I wouldn't do it this short, because eventually if you keep sharing over and over and over again at that fast of a rate, chances are you're going to get auto-captured, which, if you don't know what auto-captcha is, it's not that big of a deal. It just basically means that you've ticked off the algorithm for Poshmark, and they know that, or they suspect that you're using software. Now, if that happens, they have an auto-captcha system built into Simple Posture, which is good for you. So what will happen is it will automatically stop sharing anything or doing whatever you've set it to do, and a thing will pop up on your screen that says, yes, I'm a human being, and you click the yes, I'm a human being. Now, if you happen to go about your business or your day and you come back, it's fine because it's stopped, and then you just click yes, I'm a human being, and then I would wait maybe like 5 to 10 minutes to start doing it again. But if you're setting your numbers like conservatively to like maybe like 6 to 25 seconds, well, then you probably won't get too many auto captchas because you're conservative. But a lot of people scale it up and they try to ramp it up, and they're like 2 to 8 seconds, and they set it on like 1,000 listings, and guess what? You're probably going to get auto captured eventually. So be conservative with it, but just for the sake of showing you, I'm going to go like 3 to 13 seconds, and we'll do like 50 items really fast. Now, you want to click randomize sharing order, and that's pretty much all you need to do. If you're in a party, you hit randomize sharing order, and then you start it. And now you can just sit back and go about your life and scroll Instagram or go out and do whatever you want to do, and the Simple Posture is going to share items from the closet or share items from the party for you, right? Now, how's that going to help automate and make more sales for you, right? Because every single person that's behind these listings, guess what? They have men's clothes. They've listed men's clothes. So they're either a man, or they know men, or maybe have like a boyfriend or a husband. So they're more inclined to, if they've listed a man's clothing item and you're selling men's or dropshipping men's clothing, right? They're your target customers. You want to get their eyes on your closet so they can potentially buy. This is how you do it, by sharing their stuff out of the party. And you don't have to do it. In the past, if we stop this really fast, clear the console. In the past, what I would teach before I knew about like a good automation tool, I would literally teach just going in and manually sharing. But the issue with that is that takes a lot of your time, and it's going to drive you insane, because to get any real amount of sharing, you have to sit here and just do it over and over and over and over and over again yourself. And nobody in their right mind can sit there and just do this all day long. You'll see I'm already starting to get notifications and shares back. See, all these people, this person saw and they started to share my item back. Same with this person, right? So that's basically how you do it. Just to kind of show you a recap really fast. We're back in the party. We're going to list it. Let's go to like, 5 to like 21 now. And I'm just going to leave this up, and maybe like 100 listings. And then it's going to stop at 100 listings, and it's going to share those listings in between clips of like 5 and 21 seconds randomly. Boom, start. And now I'm going to go maybe have some lunch, right? And then it's just going to share 100 listings from this party, and it's going to bring a potential 100 eyes and a potential 100 customers to potentially buy my dropshipping listings. And that's how you're going to use it to make more money, by automating your closet with this app and selling more dropshipping listings on Poshmark. All right, so now it's time to scale it up, right? We need to ask ourselves, with any business model, proof of concept, scalability, right? So I proved the concept. I showed you the entire business model in a nutshell. We're going to get into some more advanced stuff here in a second, and how you can scale up with, multiple things, automation on your Poshmark closet and all that other stuff, all that other jazz. But we're really briefly, I want to talk about the having fun with the numbers, and really kind of asking yourself whether it's this business model specifically, as the retail dropshipping, or really any business model. How do you scale? Have fun with it. Inspire yourself with some potential numbers and some potential revenue, right? Because if you're just sitting there and you list 5 things, you might be asking yourself, man, I don't feel like listing like 200 to 500 items, and that's a lot of listings. Trust me, you might want to start with like 5 a day or like 10 a day. But what I'm trying to say is, you're not going to be inspired to do that unless you understand your why, unless you understand the potential and the potential scalability of, making that kind of money, and why you need to list more items, right? So to put simply and just jump in, The biggest way and the easiest way to scale this is by listing more items, right? You'll notice winning listings. Let's say you list like 50 things or you list like 20 things, right? You'll start to notice, and you can track this better on Mercari. You can actually see the views and the likes on Mercari and when you open up the app or the website, right? Now on Poshmark, you can't specifically see the views, but you can see the likes and the shares and everything like that. So they're a little bit different tracking systems on each, but you'll start to notice winning listings, right? Things that people buy, some listings that people buy, and also listings that people see a lot more and have visibility on the platforms, right? And you'll also notice listings that don't really get any traction, and that's fine. With the listings that don't get any traction, guess what you should probably do? You either leave them up there because they potentially earn you a sale, why wouldn't you? Or you can simply delete them so that people can see other listings, whatever you want to do. But like I said, you list more items, then you'll see what items tend to have better visibility and better responses on each platform, and what items sell more. And you probably need a good month to 2 months to kind of test a bunch of listings out. Don't just jump the gun and be like, nobody saw this listing in 2 days, I guess it's a dud. No, you got to give it a little bit of time, give it some traction to rank on the platform, and see with an extended period of time, maybe a couple weeks to a month, if it's actually hitting or if it's a dud, right? And then what you want to do is, let's say hypothetically you list like a travel inflatable pillow like we went through on Mercari, right? Or on Poshmark or whatever. And you happen to notice that item's getting a lot of sales or getting a lot of traction. Well, what do? A, you're very happy because you know that you have a great listing, and obviously you don't have a max on your inventory because you can just keep ordering more. And you also know that, okay, travel inflatable pillows seem to sell pretty well on Mercari. Or maybe, it's like dresses on Poshmark, whatever. You're going to see different trends in what works and what doesn't. And the only way that you do that is listing more items, right? So once you see different trends in what works, guess what? Replicate more of that. So if travel inflatable pillows work on Mercari, list more travel inflatable pillows. They might be very, very similar, but different, listings, right? List more of what works. On Poshmark, for example, if you see that a lot of your dresses are selling for a certain listing, guess what you should do? You're right. You jumped ahead with it in your mind already. You should list more dresses, right? Different dresses, but very, very similar. So that's how you scale up. You want to list more items. The best way to scale is list more items and then see what works and replicate that. So to play around with some numbers and give you some inspiration, this is what I do personally. So if you know on average, and you're going to need to list a bunch of things and see your numbers and see what works with like an extended period of time, like I said, right? Give yourself like a month to actually see. So maybe you find out that you're averaging about $5 per profit per month per listing, right? So $5 per listing in profit a month. So maybe that's what you're averaging. I don't know how many you listed, right? Well, then you need to ask yourself, okay, what's the scalability of this? Okay, so I'm averaging about $5 per listing in profit. How many listings do I have to do? How many listings do I need to list to make it $1,000 a month with this method? How many listings do I need to list to make $2,000 a month with this method, right? Maybe you find that you're only making $1 per listing in profit a month. Well, then you need to reevaluate, what products you're listing, because clearly there aren't ones that are working very well, and you need to list more of what's winning, like I said, and what has been proven to sell, and then maybe that improves the next month, and you're earning like $10 per listing in profit, right? Then you need to ask yourself, okay, how many listings do I need to make this month or get to total to make 1K a month? How about 2K? How about 10K a month, right? And that's how you inspire yourself to list 500 to 1,000 items on these potential platforms, because you're going to know that if you do so, you will make multiple thousands of dollars a month. It's just a numbers game at that point, right? So let's say you have pretty good listings and you're earning $20 per month in profit, right? Same thing, right? Okay, how many listings do you need to make $1,000 a month? Well, let's pull up the calculator. So let's say you're earning about $20,000 or $20,000 a month, $20 in profit per listing per month, right? Well, to make $1,000, how many listings do you have to list to make that? Only 50. That's pretty good, right? Now, let's say you want to make, 10K a month, right? So let's say you're making a more realistic number is $5 in profit per listing per month, right? So let's say you want to make $5,000 in a month, right? And you're making about $5 in profit. Well, guess what? You got to list 1,000 things. But if I told you you're going to get paid next month you're going to get paid next month $5,000 if you list 1,000 things, you're going to be much more inspired to do so. Maybe you break that apart. How many listings is that a day, right? So 1,000 listings total divided by like 30 days in the month. Well, you got to list 33 items a day, which is kind of a lot, but you can probably do that in like an hour or two. And if I were to tell you could spend an hour or two a day listing products like this up on sites, and then you can make $5,000 your next month, you'd probably do it, right? So it's a numbers game at that point. You got to inspire yourself, but you're going to need a month or two to really see initially what works for you, so you can replicate what works, kind of do away with what doesn't work, and then you're going to know your numbers so you know how to scale.